Hello and welcome. In this session, we are going to learn how to format and adjust the details on legends and axis. So let's first begin with the secondary axis here, which is being used by the wind speed line chart. Since the wind speed line chart is red in color, we can change the color of the font of the axis values and the axis title to red and add similar glow to it. To do that, click on the axis values, go to format, select in the text option the necessary color. In this case, it is red. We can go to home and make it bold. Come back to format and add the glow to it. We can do the same for the name of the axis. And we will replicate this at the legend level. When you click on the legend, all the legends will get selected. Click once again on wind speed and that particular legend gets selected. Click on the text edit options and make the necessary changes. So now wind speed is consistent everywhere on the chart, on the axis and on the legend. So this becomes very useful for someone who is analyzing the chart. Hopefully you would have noticed during the last session and even in this session that the days are no longer represented in the date format which is present in the original data range. Instead, it is showing some numbers in place of those dates. That has happened because during the process of recording video for the last session, I copied this particular sheet from another sheet which was this, and that's why Excel didn't pick up the format of dates here. We can change it to the original date format by double clicking on the series, going to the axis option which is under this particular icon, scroll down, come to the number section and change the format of the category to the date format. And we will select the type as this one and close it. So now we have the dates as per our original format. Let's see what other options we have in terms of formatting the axis details. We'll double click on axis and under the axis options, we have first option is the axis type which is automatically selected based on the data. Otherwise, you can choose the axis to be a text axis or a date axis. Because the axis data is date, you have been given the option of date axis. Next is bounds. Bounds is nothing but the minimum and maximum value on the axis. On the horizontal axis, the minimum value is 6th March and the maximum value is 19th March, and that is what is seen over here. You can change this if you need it. Next are the units of the grid lines, the major units and the minor units. Now these are days, so both the units are the same, which is 1 day. So for every day we need to plot the graph. That's why it is this way. When we go to the vertical axis, we will see how this can help. Next, what you see is the position at which the two axes will cross each other. Because we are editing the horizontal axis, the option you get is at which point the vertical axis will cross the horizontal axis. Here we need it from the beginning. However, if you want the axis to start from a particular date, we can do that. For example, if we start on 10th of March and click outside, now you see the axis has started from 10th of March. We can use this option if you want to see something of the past and something that is going to happen in future, or in any other situation where you need the vertical axis somewhere in the middle of the horizontal axis. So I'm going to change it to the original position and bring it back. Next is the axis position, which is on tick marks or between tick marks. So here we have chosen between tick marks. So each graph for a particular date is between these tick marks, and we have more details for tick marks, what kind of tick marks we can have. The tick marks are these small ticks you see on the horizontal axis, and we can decide whether we want it inside. So now you see the tick marks are inside, or we want it as a cross, so it will be inside as well as outside, or we want it only outside. So these are the options for tick marks. For label position, currently it is near the axis. If you want these labels to appear on top, you can select high position and the labels will appear on top. Let's bring it back to next to axis. We have already seen how to do the number formatting. Let's now click on the vertical axis and try to understand some of the options, which would be more clearer because these are numbers. So the bounds are 0 to 18. The units, major units is 2. So you see increments of 2. 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. The minor unit is 0.4. We do not see this effect because we haven't enabled the minor grid lines which are here. So you go to grid lines and enable minor horizontal, and that's where you see the minor grid lines each representing 0.4. Let's undo this. Next we have horizontal axis crosses at which position for vertical axis. So in case we select, let's say 4, then you will see that the horizontal axis is crossing the vertical axis as 0.4. This can be useful if you want to show negative values in any one of the graphs. So these are the various options available to format and adjust the details of the axis. Let's remove this and make it 0. As we are not using the lower column of this particular column stack, which represents the low temperature, we'll click on it. Once again, click on to select the low temperature and press delete key on the keyboard to remove it from the legend. Let's click on the rainfall and select the text as white and make it bold. This is just so that it matches with the data labels of rainfall. To change the title, we'll click on the title and edit it. Before we end this session, let's do a final bit of editing for this temperature zone color. We are going to double click on this series, go to fill option, in gradient color, we will change these 4 colors to some brighter color option. We have chosen the first color which is on top of the column. Click on the color palette, more colors. Under standard, we can select any one of the shades. Let's select these ones. So we'll select this one and click OK. Next, we'll go back to this and select the next color. Click OK. Third one. This looks much better as compared to the earlier one. With that, we have completed making of the 14 days weather forecast chart. I hope you enjoyed doing it, and I'm sure you will be able to apply this technique in various other charts that you will make.